Alright, so the topic for today is, can war ever be justified, alright? And you say no. You say yes and I say no.
Correct.
Why do you say it can? Before we get into it, why do you say it can be justified?
Because sometimes war is justified.
Explain.
Well, Hitler.
Hitler was one man.
When he started what he was doing in his country, and he had all those followers, and they were trying to do what they were trying to do. What does everyone just sit back and let him do it?
No.
Then what do you do?
Well, one, like you just said, he had his followers, alright? We could have tried to convince his followers not to follow him.
Yeah. And how did that work?
We don't know. We never tried. Instead, Americans just left it. They didn't even bother to do anything with that until he kept bombing us. And then we decided to actually go and fight. We didn't even bother doing anything else. We just picked up our guns and marched over there.
So then when they bombed us, were we justified in doing what we did?
No.
Basically what you just said was that we were sitting here leaving it alone.
I think that causing poverty and inflicting harm on innocent civilians is not justifiable. You could, what we call assassination, you could have assassinated that one man, Hitler, and ended it all.
Oh, and you just think all the others that were following would have just stopped?
That's what they did when Hitler killed himself. What did they do?
It was over by then. The coward killed himself.
When he killed himself, they just left him. They just turned their backs on him.
Oh, hell yeah, they did, because the Americans were coming and looking for all of them.
Oh. No, when he they still had faith in him. When he killed himself, they dropped their faith and moved to America, moved to Britain, moved to every other country. I wonder
why they did that.
So assassination, once he's killed, would have ended it.
You really believe that?
Yes, I really do.
You really don't think that they retreated because they knew the Americans were coming?
It wasn't just the Americans.
And their allies.
And their allies.
The other people.
Mainly Britain.
So was it justified?
No.
So Britain went in and started a war.
I don't agree with that either. No matter how proclamated I am,
basically what you say is, you know, and this is what Obama does. If we just, and that's a good example. This is a good example. Okay. If we just treat him nice, and we just try to be friends to him, well, he's been doing
I don't
that.
think you should just...
He's been doing that since 2008. Where's it got us? Hello?
I don't think we should just treat everyone nice and be all hunky-dory with everyone.
Well, that's what he thinks.
But look at today. We're in Iraq.
Well, that's what he thinks.
We're in Iraq, okay?
Let's see. We pull the troops out of Afghanistan. What happens? They start taking over countries and cities and towns and killing innocent
Russia.
people.
That's Russia. That has nothing to do with the Arabian Peninsula. That was Russia.
It's also the ISIS. ISIS.
The what?
The ISIS that are taking over, trying to get into Baghdad.
Oh. Okay, see, that's another thing.
He pulls out.
We had no right to be in the Arabian Peninsula.
That's your opinion.
No, we had no right to be, though.
That's your opinion.
They fight their own wars. In all of history, alright? We are the first ones to go across continents to fight someone else's war when we have our own issues and problems.
Innocent people that are being slaughtered by dictators.
No, the Truman Doctrine doesn't even apply to this.
And anyone that thinks that Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction are just fooling themselves. Even the Democrats that were there going, you know, the Clintons and Obama himself, that said that, you know, he had the weapons of mass destruction. We got to fix this.
I'm not saying he didn't have them.
And then they go back and they lie and say, well, you know, I voted before I voted against it. That's Kerry. I mean, come on.
What I'm saying
I think war is justified sometimes. Do I like war? No. But I think that if someone comes over here...
It is not our place to fight another person's war and call it...
So 9/11 wasn't justified?
No.
No. So we just
9 men cannot cast a war on an entire country.
9 men is what came over here. What about all the other ones that were over there throwing parties and hooting and hollering when they went down?
It was only 9 men. How do you
Because they couldn't get more in there. They had to sneak in and do it.
Okay.
So it
but
was justified.
They're still over there.
Well, now I'll tell you
They
what.
haven't even done anything with us anymore.
You go find one of the family members or those people that were jumping to their death out of the World Trade Center and ask them how they feel.
We're not trying to get touchy here.
Well, I'm getting touchy because I think it's justified. I think we did what we had to do. And I admire Bush for doing what he did.
We have a Senate. We have a Republican senatorial system known as the UN. Alright?
We did.
And
we haven't since 2008. The man does what he wants to do.
okay. Honestly, you want to go back to World War II? The only reason we ever got in a war
was because the Japanese bombed us.
No, that had nothing to do. The only reason that we got into that war is because the UN hasn't been created yet.
Correct.
If we had the UN, we would never go into war.
What made us decide to go into that war?
Because people are so, it goes back to, the original topic I want to do. The eye for an eye retribution. They bombed us, let's bomb them. They're attacking us, let's attack them. And that's how war started. I don't think that's a justifiable act.
That's your opinion.
And that's what we're trying to say.
I believe that when you attack Americans and you kill Americans for no reason, you will pay. As the singer said, we'll put a boot up your ass. And if you threaten to put a boot up their ass, they're less likely to mess with you. They're messing with us now because we got a president that draws a line in the sand, and he draws another red line, and he draws another one, and he blames everything on Bush. War is justified sometimes.
Okay.
Whether I like it or not.
Give me an example when war isn't justified.
When war isn't?
Yeah, because you keep saying sometimes. And before we get, let's not even talk about the current wars. Have you ever heard of the Crusades? Okay, would you say that the Crusades were justified? A religious war? It caused devastation, poverty for so many people over personal beliefs of a religious value.
Well, do you believe it's okay then for the Palestinians to go after Israel?
No.
Because of their beliefs?
No.
I believe people should believe what they want to believe.
But the question is, you said sometimes. Would you say that the Crusades is justifiable or not? Would you say that the wars that Alexander the Great has casted to be justified? We're not just talking about modern warfare. We're talking about warfare in general.
If a war is justified.
Can you give us an example when war is not justified?
I just did.
When?
9/11, the war was justified.
I said not justified.
Vietnam probably would be one.
But you just said earlier, dictators. Okay, the only reason we were in Vietnam is because of the Truman Doctrine. America will always cast wars against dictators.
I don't know that it was. I can't say for sure. My belief is that there was a part of me that felt like maybe we shouldn't be there. But my brother fought in the war, and I respect my brother for what he did. And I think it's sad that these people that don't believe in war and they want to go and press and spit on soldiers, I have a problem with that.
Okay. And along the Vietnam War, would you say that the Korean War wasn't justified?
I think the Korean War was.
Okay. So, you have 3 wars. The Arabian Peninsula.
Wars.
No, you have 3 main wars. The Arabian Peninsula. You have the Vietnam. Oh, you have the Vietnam, and then you have Korea. All wars are the same. You have the 2 countries who are fighting together who had nothing to do with America. But yet America goes in. Now, you just claimed that 2 of those wars are justifiable and 1 is not. But yet they all had the same ideal.
You asked me of my opinion.
Yeah, now I'm asking you to support evidence in your opinion.
My opinion is that this, right here, some people will agree with me on Vietnam, some people will disagree with me. Some people, obviously you, will disagree about 9/11.
Okay, well, I'm asking for you to give me an unbiased opinion. Okay? In other words, can you support
I thought you wanted my opinion.
Yes. But I'm wanting an unbiased opinion. A biased opinion was saying that, okay, I have 3 candy bars, exactly the same. but some odd reason I only like 2 of them. The other one I hate. They're all 3 different companies, but they're all exactly the same. You have 3 wars exactly the same, but
But
one
they
you
weren't
say
exactly the same. There were different circumstances.
no. You have Vietnam and Korea.
Let me ask you this thing. So if you go into the Middle East and you see thousands of people lined up in front of this big trench, bound and gagged, and you see terrorists behind them with machine guns, and they just start blowing them full of bullets, and they fall into the hole, and then they push through the door. Do you have a problem with that? What do we do? Just sit back and let it happen? America,
honestly,
is a country of equal rights, freedom,
of liberty,
and freedom.
America is not a country of equal rights. It's a country of liberty, not equality.
People, that's today's society. That's something that we have created, and we've let the government create by these elections that they run, where they go around and put out all the bad shit about people.
So government.
So the government, so you take, you hear, well, the Republicans hate gays and lesbians. They don't believe in sex, but the Democrats are for it. They're for it. Obama was against it at one time. Then he had a change of heart. But the change of heart was that he wanted their votes. And they ran out and voted for him. And it's still not legal. They're still fighting over it. They're going to fight over it in the next election in 2016 and 2020. They're going to keep doing it.
That's only because, and this doesn't really relate to our topic, but that's because gay marriage has been declared as a state right, not a federal right.
I love America. I love what it stands for, the freedom, the liberty. And I think that America goes in when people are doing wrong to innocent people, and we go in there and we try to help them.
But let's go back to...
If anybody sees differently, that's fine.
But
I don't agree with
Let's go back to Vietnam and Korea, right? And those are exactly the same. Yeah, one country splits up into 2. One side is democratic. One side... not democratic, but one side is communist, and one side is what America is. I can't remember the word. Okay, that's exactly the same, but yet you say Vietnam is not justified.
So you got one side...
But Korea is justified.
So you got one side that just wants to live their life the way they want to live it, the way they...
Yes.
Kind of like us.
So both situations are exactly the same.
Then you got the other side that they're all pissed off because they want to tell these people what to do, and they want to deprive these peoples of their freedoms and their rights. So then
both situations are exactly the same.
So then they start intimidating them, and then they start killing them, and then they go in and raid their homes and kill their children and their mothers and their fathers.
Yes.
So then at some point,
why is it right for us to do that in Korea, but not right for us to do that in Vietnam?
I just said Vietnam's is different.
How's that different? You have one country splits into 2.
Because Vietnam involved my family.
So.
And I have mixed emotions about it.
But both situations are the same.
I realize that. And you're asking me to do something that I can't do.
Alright.
It's just different for me. I can't explain it.
Alright.
I was the 12-year-old boy that watched my 18-year-old brother go off and didn't know what was going on. And then watched the way he was treated when he got back, and watched the neglect he's got from our government since he's been back. That has Agent Orange and can't get help for it because they lost their paperwork on a fire at a warehouse that proves he was there. So, yeah, it's mixed for me. But if we're going there to help innocent people, then it's justified.
So you believe in the Truman Doctrine?
Yeah.
Alright, well, this has actually been fun, so...
Oh.
Thank you for doing this with me.
You're welcome. What do you want?